Hey, it's Ron again. I hope that you're having a great day. Today we're going to look at Revelation chapter 14, starting in verse 14. And last time, John saw a vision of three angels flying overhead. Now he's going to see a vision about the harvest of the earth. It says in verse 14, "Then I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and seated on the cloud one like a son of man, with a golden crown on his head, and a sharp sickle in his hand." So John sees a vision of a cloud, and sitting on the cloud is somebody who looks human, like a son of man. He has a gold crown, and he has a sickle. There's a big debate among the commentaries and stuff of, is this Jesus with the son of man reference and the crown, or is this an angel? And I don't know. The reason it's so debated is because it's not clear. And then it says in verse 15, "And another angel came out of the temple, calling with a loud voice to him who sat on the cloud, 'Put in your sickle and reap, for the hour to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is fully ripe.' So he who sat on the cloud swung his sickle across the earth, and the earth was reaped." So now this angel comes out of the temple, and he tells the one sitting on the white cloud to swing his sickle, reap the earth, and so the one sitting on the cloud does that. Now, this is also debated in the commentaries and stuff on, is this talking about the Christians being taken off the earth? So it's a reaping of the Christians, or is this a reaping of the non-Christians for judgment? And again, it's debated so much because it's just not clear, so I don't know on that either. But when we get to 17, it becomes clear what he's talking about. It says this in verse 17. "Then another angel came out of the temple in heaven, and he too had a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, the angel who has authority over the fire. And he called with a loud voice to the one who had the sharp sickle, 'Put in your sickle and gather the clusters from the vine of the earth, for its grapes are ripe.' So the angel swung his sickle across the earth, and gathered the grape harvest of the earth, and threw it into the great winepress of the wrath of God." So now John says he sees a vision of an angel with a sickle, and an angel comes out from the altar and tells him to swing his sickle and reap. So this angel does that. He reaps, and it says this time though, it says he reaps the clusters of grapes, and he throws them into the winepress of the wrath of God. Now, from the Old Testament references and stuff, we know that the winepress of the wrath of God is a figure of speech, just meaning God's judgment. Because in a wine press, they would throw the grapes in there and crush them to get the juice out to make wine. So it's just a figure of speech meaning judgment, God's judgment. And so this is obviously a reaping of non-Christians for judgment, so they're going to be judged. And then it says here in verse 20, "And the winepress was trodden outside the city, and blood flowed from the winepress as high as a horse's bridle, for 1,600 stadia." The winepress, the blood's going to flow when this judgment happens, as high as a horse's bridle for about 1,600 stadia is about 180 miles. So that's a lot of blood. And some of the commentators think that that's too much blood to be possible, and this is figurative. But I don't think it is, because it's a specific number of 180 miles or 1,600 stadia. So to me, it seems to be saying that there's going to be that much blood. And when it says here, the blood flows as high as a horse's bridle, it might not mean the whole 180 miles, but just at the deepest part. I don't know. But it does seem to be a literal river of blood. So that's what it seems like to me. And what he's talking about here with this second judgment, this from verse 17 to here, is the battle, what we call the Battle of Armageddon. And what that is at the end of the tribulation, halfway through the tribulation, the Antichrist takes power and has 10 kings under him. Well, at the end of the tribulation, when Jesus comes, the Antichrist and these 10 kings are going to gather their armies to fight against Jesus when he returns to earth. And so Jesus is just going to destroy them. And that's what this is talking about here, this harvest, and then this great slaughter in the winepress of the wrath of God. Jesus will destroy them and judge them. But we're going to stop there for today. Thanks for watching.